Hello and welcome to PocketGamer.biz's Monetizer. This is where we look at free-to-play games and look at how they monetize and look at their kind of user experience, the kind of flow through the game, what kind of economies they're using, what kind of social mechanics they're using. So the game we're looking at today is from Glue Mobile. So always interested in looking at what Glue Mobile come up with. They're well experienced in free-to-play games and have very interesting techniques they use. This is their new game just come out. It's James Bond World of Espionage. So it's been well known that they've had the Bond license for a while. In fact, they've been working on this game for 2 years. And surprisingly, given the amount that Glue does do a lot of shooters, this isn't a shooter game. So this is much more in the style of a game of war, really. So it has kind of strategy elements. They call it RTS strategy elements and role-playing elements as well. You have you kind of level up things, but I guess the main mechanic behind it is card battling. So obviously we've known that from particularly Japanese games, but now it's very strong in Asia. So let's quickly go in and have a look at kind of what this game's got on. As you can see, just looking at this is the main menu screen. It's very kind of menu-driven kind of game. We've got some retailing going on here. We've got alliances. It's a very heavy PvP element in terms of just player versus player, but also they're looking very much to get kind of alliances in. I mean, the missions bit is actually quite small. So there's some missions going on here, some conflicts where you fight other players. There's agents, that's the card element. There's villains that you also kind of attack, facilities, gear, agency specialization. So you're basically, the idea is you're running a spy agency. You're not actually James Bond yourself. Factions and QLab, researching new items. So quite a lot of menu type driven things in here, and we can also see up here. You can see here, this is XP, so that's I'm leveling up. I'm level 7. It's very early in the game. Got some money here. There's soft currency, is pounds in this case, and gold, which is the hard currency. Got stamina and energy, so that's kind of interesting. HP as well. Health points. So energy systems we all know about. That's kind of gating how much you can play. This also has a stamina system, so kind of quite heavily kind of gating session lengths, pretty short session lengths. So what they're looking to do is drive people, multiple. You're basically coming in playing maybe 2 minutes. That's all you'll get kind of free in terms of the energy you're given. It recharges over time. So I've got 60 energies, and most actions take about 6 at the moment. So I've basically got 10 things I can do, or 10 actions I can do in the game. Anyway, let's quickly go and do a mission so you can kind of see how this kind of basic thing works. So this is the kind of all the I guess kind of locations associated with Bond films. So the one you're starting on is Dr. No in Jamaica. So here's the little kind of map of what we're doing. Let me zoom in a little bit. So there's various missions going on all the time. What one should we go and have a look at? There's Dinner with Dr. No. So let's go into that one. So very kind of card based, as we see. So this is I'm dining with Dr. No. I've done this once already. There's 5 things I have to go through to complete the mission. Every act I can leave, or any action dining, is going to cost me 6. So hit that. So I'm dining. Get some pounds, get some XP. My energy's gone down. You can see it's starting to recharge up. Dine again. There we go. Dine again. My agency is leveled up now, so I've got attribution points. So these are for my agency. This is basically so I can increase my energy here, increase my stamina. I can increase my offensive power, defense, HP. So there's been assigned. That's all changed now. So I've got 60. So my energy, because I've leveled up my agency, so my energy's been reset. So looks like we're dining away with Dr. No. Okay, some action going on here. I mean, obviously, as you see, I'm just tapping. This is not a game where I'm doing anything gameplay-wise in terms of like tapping to shoot people, or there's no kind of gameplay as we kind of understood it from the console generation in the West. But this is much more an Asian-influenced kind of the meta game, what they call about the kind of not what you're doing in this kind of level is what's important. It's kind of how you're leveling up and how you're using your resources. Which I guess is a strategy game type thing. So here we go. So let's keep going to run out of energy. So there we go, run out of energy. So so I can spend 8 gold to reset my energy. You can actually have you can win energy refills as well. But you can see I'm going to get 1 more energy in 4 minutes. So basically, it's really gating what I can do. So we're going to cut that in there, leave. This bit of the action now I can't do. So let's go back home. So I could do something else. I could do a conflict. So I could These are other players, or I mean, maybe they're players, maybe they're AIs, who knows. They're a bit high level than me. See if I can find someone lower than me. Okay, well I'm level 5 now, so I can't really am high. Okay, so let's go and do a duel here. I mean, this is very similar. So literally just tapping away. Bam, 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 bam. There's some stats going on. It's kind of doing some. I mean, there is systems behind this. So there's kind of you have your agents and you have your gear, and that kind of gives you your certain attributes and certain things you need to do certain missions and things. But it's a very, as you can see, it's a very kind of gated system. So I've got a finishing move I can do. That's going to cost me 1 stamina to do. I can write a message and rub it into them if I want to. That's fine. I don't do that. So yeah. So I mean, my current rank on this conflict thing is 3. So I need to do a whole bunch more. But I've had 35 wins. I mean, I think every tap you do it takes us a win. So there we go. So that's the kind of 2 basic kind of things you do. A quick look before we go to that. It's retailing. So agents. So at the moment I've got 2 agents. The card collections part of it is you can buy agents. So I can buy 1 of this level of agent for 25 Gs. I've not got enough, or 3 for 70. Slight retailing there. So you can see these are lots of agents. There's uncommon, common. I mean, the usual thing we expect with card battling games. And then of course what you do. Once you collect these cards, if I go to my agents, I've only got 2 at the moment. So I've got these 2, and you can train them. So to train them, you have to have 2 agents of the same. Combine 2 of the same agents to increase their rank, or you can evolve. In which case, you evolve an agent by combining 2 agents and 1 enhancer. The same rarity rank. That's a bit more complex. Actually, that's a bit more complex than a lot of kind of card battling games are. So they're setting quite a high bar on that. I think. So there's villains. The villains are kind of similar to what we did with the so here you can just attack. This is using up my stamina, so my stamina's gone now, so I can't do anything there. But there is an interesting thing here. So you can you can have different attacks. So you can see, you're starting to see basically what you're doing in the game is just tapping, but there's lots of layering of kind of what you can do, and that's where the strategy is. So similarly. So my facility is giving me income. So these are kind of, I can buy more facilities, obviously get more money coming in. Come on, there we go. So gear, obviously gear is a big thing with Bond. So there's things, I've got a lockpick, I've got an earpiece, I have to be level 10 to get that. Clothes, well, we've got wetsuit, and we've got these, but I'm very early on, there's not very much I've got. Gear shop. Okay, so I could buy a dirt bike. I've not owned it. It's only £3,000. It's pretty. I can buy loads of them if I want them. But you purchase them, and again, initiated purchase. I can speed it up with 2 gold, or I'm waiting 10 minutes. So you can see the kind of gating going on again. And to go, so gold is obviously what is driving the whole thing. So the whole thing is, if you want to buy gold and kind of start powering through some of these things, you can do so. So gold is typical kind of thing. So this is £80, $100 goes you 550. Gold, or you can get, there's a Tapjoy offer wall for more free gold. Interestingly, at the moment they haven't gone for any video incentive videos, which Glue has done quite a lot of recently. But so it's kind of interesting. I think it's a very interesting game. They take an interesting approach they've taken for this Bond game. Obviously, it's not attached to any film in particular. As new films come out, and new film out later this year, you know, they'll ride that kind of interest in the game. Obviously, they can add new characters from the new film as they come in. It's very much designed as a game as a service. I expect this. I hope this. Glue hopes this will be going on for years. This game. That's what they're planning for. That's what they've staffed up for. But it's not based on one film. It's much more a kind of they call it the Bondian universe, and much more about, you know, they're hoping in time with like live events to add in, say something happens in the world about terrorism or something. You know, they can add those kind of missions into the system, which is kind of what Glue's done a lot with its Kim Kardashian game, which has been very successful. Obviously, very different, following a single celebrity figure. This is a fantasy world, but the whole idea is that, from their point of view, is Bond now lives in the Bond world is a very complex world of espionage, which is much less about driving fast cars, betting beautiful women, and shooting people. It's much more complex, much more ethically interesting, I suppose. How much they can bring out in this type of game, we'll have to see, really. But it's they've definitely taken a very different approach, and interesting here. So I've already buying something. Only 1 gear delivery is allowed at a time, so I can't even buy 2 things at a time. So quite a gated experience of what you can do. That's pretty much all I can do at the moment. My energy is slowly refilling, but that's it. That's the session you can do in Bond. So there we go. I'll come out of Bond at the moment, and I have to come back in half an hour's time when everything's reset. So there we go. There is Glue's approach. Very interesting. Let's see how it goes.